Hey, everybody, I'm live. I want to welcome all of you that came, especially the new folks, but we've got a lot of the oldies but goodies, shall we say. Especially some of you that have hung out here for almost 30 minutes and you're greeting everybody. I really appreciate that. Let me know if you can hear me and see me clearly. Very, very important that you can hear me. So let me know. I'm going to give you a few seconds before, the chat takes a few minutes to catch up before it shows up on my side. So let me know if you can hear and see me. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me and see me. Okay, great. Now I've got a brand new screen. I've just been working on my office. Just recently got Backup bought me a new TV. So I changed the TV I did have and brought it up here and made a great big monitor. I actually have a 55-inch monitor now hanging on my wall in front of my desk. So that's what I decided, and so I'm working from a little bit different interface. Just wanted to make sure that you guys are having no issues with the sound. Some people said last time there was some problems with the sound. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. You're going to see me drinking more than once. The reason why is if I don't, I will start coughing because I get dry throat. And it's not because I have sickness, it's just because I need to keep my throat from getting too dry. And so if you have a problem with that, I hope you don't, because I want to make sure you know. Thank you, Karina. I appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to take myself out of the picture so that it's all screen. Can everybody see the screen well before I move over to the actual Got Backup? All right, so here we are in the back office of Got Backup, which if you only have Got Backup, it's going to look like this. And of course, the very first thing you're going to see when you come in here is this great big screen with the video. Now, I have done a bunch of videos. These back office videos might change. So I will be telling you to keep an eye out. I don't know exactly how they're going to post them in here. They might put them in separate pages or they might be in here by themselves. But the very first tab I want you to notice is this one right here, Use This Tool, and it actually corresponds with the dashboard. Okay, so you're going to see tabs on the bottom underneath these videos, but rather than going to both of those tabs, I'm going to show you which one it sets up with, and then we'll go there once and go through it in detail. So first off, we're going to click this one. And what that does is it brings us to the front interface of the Got Backup dashboard. This is where you would go to get your download if you've never set yourself up before. If you're in a Macintosh environment, then of course you're going to download the Macintosh. But also keep in mind, if you have an iPhone, you're going to download from here. I have actually a Windows machine, but I have an iPhone. And some of you might have an Android. And if the Android, that's where you're going to find it underneath the Windows. That's also where you're going to find your installation videos. So if you are a Windows and a Google and an Android person, then you'll find all of your videos right here where this button is. And let me go ahead and click that so you can see what you're going to see when you come up. And so the Windows, see how it came up and it's a tab with the Windows? But if I click over here, I get to the Macintosh videos, which is fine if you have a Macintosh. But this is also where you're going to find the iPhone setup. Very important, actually, to watch these videos. Don't think you understand how to do it, because if you miss a step, it could mean that your setup is going to get goofed up and not work correctly. So take the time to watch these videos. It's very, very important. So I'm going to come back here to my Got Backup. And the next one you're going to see here is the reseller tools. There's also a corresponding tab where on that first page, I'm not going to go back to the first page, but we'll click this one now so that we can see what that looks like. And this is where you're going to find all of your affiliate information, including your affiliate links. The very most popular and best converting page by far, and hasn't changed for quite a while, is this first one right here, the tour page. This not only brings people into your leads, but it gets people to create a free membership, which means that they're going to become what's called a pre-enrollee. And because they're going to become a pre-enrollee, that means they're going to get emails inviting them to actually become a paid member. Because before you can actually promote this or use it, you have to be a paid member. Now, there are two different memberships, but let me keep in mind that there's only $1 difference between the personal and the family plan. Now, the family plan gives you 6 terabytes of space in your back office that you can use, or you can share it with other people as well. You don't have to, it's just an option. And then, of course, you can use this when people have already become a pre-enrollee to get them to get signed up properly, because this is the actual get started and pay page. The next one down here is very important, and I think that a lot of you are using this now, and that is our webinar link. And the reason why this is good is because we've got this already cookied to go to you. So if you invite people with this link, then they're going to automatically be cookied to you, even if we give them the generic get started link in our webinars, which we do frequently. They're still going to be cookied to you, and they're still going to pay, and you're going to see them in your own pay line or power line. And the reason why I know that is because there's been times when people have not just gone to the webinar, but there's sometimes when people have quit for whatever reason, and then they change their mind and come back, and they get on my link again, but they become a brand new member again, and they actually show up in my back office as a paid member. And that's because they have been cookied to me all this time, even though they went away for a while. And that's this is just a really good replay you can share. And this is another page you can share. I think this one actually helps people if they're interested in getting the upgrade, which is called the done for you part. In other words, they actually help you by putting in emails, follow-ups inside of your system, and they do it for you, and they put your name in there and your link, so it's all set up so that it will give you full credit if anybody spends any money at all. And that's what makes this really a cool program, the way it's going. And then let's look at the next link over here. This is the banner page. And in the banner page, this is really good if you have any kind of websites of any sort. For instance, I really like this one. It's actually what they call a GIF. And I forgot to pull it up, but it won't take but a second. I actually use that particular little GIF on my websites every single time. As you can see, I've got lots of product in here, lots of stuff in here. And let me go back further, because you'll see that even though I offer things that are not part of Got Backup, here's another one. So let's look at that one for a minute. And here is that GIF. I downloaded it and then I put it in here. And the way I did that, let me come over here so you can see what I'm going to talk about, is I actually clicked this and then I saved it to my hard drive. And then when you click it that way, and if you're going to use it in a blog, then you need to actually select it and make sure it has your link so that when we click this, if I click this right now, you'll see that it actually does go to my tour page. And that is something that you can do with our product, making it super fun and easy to work with. Okay, so I'm going to close that. And then the next page over here is the advertising ad copy. And this is just pieces of good content. Copy is what they call it. Now, just want to give you a heads up. When you have a lot of links in an email, it's going to go automatically to spam. So even though this actually has a lot of links in it, it would be a good idea to not use the whole thing. You could just copy a piece of it if you wanted to. For instance, like maybe I'm going to copy this part right here. Okay. And when I want to use this, it's going to be in my copy, in my, um, what do they call it? Anyway, it's copied so that it's ready to go. The next tab over is called the pre-enrollee copy. And what's good about this is you can actually click this and you can email right now to any of your pre-enrollees. It's going to automatically put them over here. When they're on this right-hand side, that means they're ready to go. You can move your resellers over there, but this is really addressed to your pre-enrollees, okay? So you can see, welcome to Got Backup. I'm your sponsor is what it says. And it doesn't have anything here, so let's go ahead and put that in there. And here is what we can do. Remember, I copied some of that ad copy, but this is not complete right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that in there. And guess what? Now I've got an email. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but what's really important here is the reason why they actually put this, what we call an email system, in here for you, is because no matter how good our company is, they're not going to stay or even maybe even buy if they don't see that they've got a real person that's interested in them enough to talk to them. And this is one of the ways that you can do that. When you start getting a lot of pre-enrollees, it's a good idea to regularly send emails out to them. In fact, what I do is called a broadcast. So if I actually come back to the lead capture system, which is what I was showing you, and I actually do a message, if you click on message and then come down here to where it says send broadcast, you can actually send an email to all of your leads, regardless of which group they're in. They could be in this one, they can be in this one, or you might even have, we've been doing some various different email systems where everybody is involved with it. I can't remember what we're calling it, but Joel's doing that. And that's going to be a different list. And you could have up to 5 or 6 different Got Backup lists, depending on what we're doing. And if that's the case, then you want to make sure all of those people get some sort of communication from you. And so if I were to go and send a broadcast, I would want to make sure and send all of my lists that broadcast. And I did that today, earlier in the day, okay? So right now this is blank. And we've got this really cool way that you can actually get started pretty fast without having to do a whole lot. You can choose one of these templates. Now, don't use something complicated. These first 3 are really, really simple. And that's what I like, is to use something that's not difficult, not hard to use. Now you'll see that it's down here, but there's some problems. It's not complete yet. It's not ready to go. For one thing, this is not going to be correct because that is not what we're talking about. So I'm going to put that same email in there, and I'm inviting them to take the tour in that little bit of email that I created. Now, they may have already taken the tour, but that's okay. You can do that again more than once. And if they've already done it, tell them. You can just come back here and say, if I come in here and say something, if you already have a tour and membership, please use the user name and password that you created. Now there's just a few more things you want to make sure and do. For instance, you want to make sure and change this. You don't want that to be that goofy guy, because that's not you, is it? So you would do that by inserting a new picture by simply browsing out, and I was in a different place, so let me go back to my downloads, see if I have something I can put in there. Let's pretend this is my picture because I don't have it handy right now. And this is way too big, so we don't want that. So look at the magic you can do. Let's make this 200 pixels. And if you tab over, it's going to change the other part of the picture. And now it's going to be smaller because you don't want it to be too big. Now that's still too big, but I just wanted you to get a feel for what you do. And then of course this says your name, so that means you need to put your name in here. Now this is ready to go pretty much, isn't it? Didn't have to do a whole lot of work, and now it's ready to add. So all we have to do is click add. Now we haven't put a header in here, so let's make sure and put something here. And this is for just demonstration purposes, obviously, because I'm in a demo. But let's go ahead and add that. Now you'll notice that it is ready to go, and you'll see I've done this many times before. And the last step you've got to do is to click this, okay? Now I actually am in the leads. I put myself in the leads, so I will receive this in a few minutes. But that is how this works. So let's go back. Let's close that. Let's go back to Got Backup, and let's make sure we've explained everything. We've gone through all the reseller tools. You've seen me share the installation videos, and I've showed you how to do an email inside the capture system. The next tab down is the My Business, and this is where you're going to find the information about your program, okay? So let's go ahead and click this. And this is where you find out about our compensation plan. If you have never looked at these videos, it would be a really good idea to watch them. And it also has PDFs if you like to read instead of watch videos. Most people like to watch videos. And I think that they've done a really good job of explaining it in here, much better than I can. That's why I always recommend that you watch these videos. Now, if you look at the next tab down, this one's just an overview of kind of all that happens. Now remember, this is a demo program. It's not a real account. So it's not going to show any real money, but also it's not going to show anybody's real information, because that's important for nobody to get exposed, because for one thing, YouTube does not like that at all. So this is where you're going to see real money when it starts to come in. Now, if you see somebody show up today, like I did earlier when I looked at mine today, and there was money in here, that's going to take 4 weeks before it actually hits my bank account, okay? So what you see today, be patient, because we have that 1 month guarantee, or 4 weeks guarantee for everybody, money back guarantee. So because of that, they do have a lag, and they do that so that you don't have to have what they call a clawback, which is no fun. We almost never have to do that, which is really important. So when you see money here, that's a good sign that you're going to start seeing paychecks on the Fridays. But the Fridays will be with a 4-week lag from anybody that starts paying today. The next tab that you see right here is when you want to get started, and you need to have one of these accounts so that you can make sure and get paid. I've had a Payoneer account for going on 4 years. When I hit January of this next year, I will have been here 4 years, and I've had a Payoneer account the entire time. It pays just like clockwork. Now, there's parts of the world where you need the Wise account, and it may not even show the Payoneer account in everybody's account. That's fine, and it doesn't actually matter which one you choose. If you have a preference, that's fine too. Let me get a little drink quick. Okay, now when you start to see money actually hitting your paycheck, it's going to show up in here. Every Friday, there's actually going to be a payout when you start actually earning money. And this is where you'll see it happening. On this tab right here is where you're going to see anybody that becomes a paid member. They are going to start out first, and you won't see it on here, but you'll see it in your own back office. They're going to start out in what's called the pay line or the power line, and it's going to be a little box with their information down here. And then on every Wednesday at midnight Central Time, they're going to move to what's called the holding tank. That means you get the opportunity to place them, and I do recommend you get in the habit of doing that. You're going to have a left leg and a right leg, and as you go along, it's going to get very long, and then you're going to have to click over here, and you might have to scroll down a few times. I usually have to scroll down about 10 times to get to the bottom of my list, but that's okay because that means my list is growing, and that's why I get a check every week. And you have that opportunity for that to happen to you. But be patient. You do need to actually invite people with that tour link I shared with you, and you have to be willing to talk to people. Don't just think it's an automation that you never talk to people, because that's just not how it works. And then right here is where you're going to see more detailed information about each of the people that have become paid members, or sometimes this is how you can find them if they didn't quite get to the process. Like, you can click the cart abandon, but like I said, this is not going to have any real information in it because this is a demo account, and that's on purpose so we never expose anybody's personal information. And then I want to make sure you know about the live webinars, which you guys are in right now. And this is how you get your link. And I have to tell them to change my name there because it's wrong. It's an A. But you can actually click this. This is another way you can get to that link. And then here's what's cool now. I want you to notice something that's happening that has just started to happen. We're starting to get people from foreign countries that are starting to do webinars as well. This is Gene Mark, and he is doing Tuesdays. And I think we've got somebody else. Well, I saw one that started on Sunday, but I don't know whether they're permanent or not. But we're going to start seeing, this one's Italian, but we're going to start seeing Italy. We're going to start seeing Spanish. We do already have somebody doing French. And if you've got people that are in those countries, you can actually get your hands on the correct link by looking right here on this page. And that's really cool to know that you can do that. And then this is has me really, really excited. You guys are right now on the YouTube channel. And so you can see that this is actually a quick and easy and fast way to get to the replays, okay? For instance, like the Italian one, here's another one coming up tomorrow, and he did one last week. And then, like I said, there was one on Sunday, and I don't know whether she's going to do it every week, but we've got French and Italian already happening, which is really cool. And I imagine we're going to have all sorts of them, and maybe even to five a day because we're growing so fast. So if you guys miss any of the webinars, or you want to actually share one of these webinars with somebody or your whole list, you have the opportunity to grab the link either from here or from here to go ahead and get people to go to those webinars. And if they miss it, you can go grab the replay out of the YouTube Live link page anytime you want. And it's a really good idea to do that. All right. All right. And then, of course, we've got the leaderboard. I love the leaderboard. And that doesn't matter if you don't see yourself here right now. I used to be on that leaderboard a lot, but there's a lot of really up and coming people that are kind of pushing me down in the pile, but that's all right. I don't care. I'm still making money and I love seeing the growth. And this Cassandra, man, she's burning it up. So it's really amazing. We're going to see some people hit the high diamonds pretty soon, the way they're going. And you can find your own self wherever you are, whether you're brand new and you've just barely started, or whether you have earned some of these awards. And I am actually right here. I'm an emerald at this point. So let's see. Did I complete the tour? The last thing in here is there is business cards. I have them. They're beautiful. That is something that is being endorsed by our company. It is a third party that is actually putting these together, but we have the order blank right here. I think we're also going to have a merch tab pretty soon. And so that's going to be pretty awesome. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. Let me come back here to the room and make sure that everybody's happy. I am ready for any questions that you guys have that you would like me to answer. Bruce didn't know that he was number 5. Well, you know what, Bruce? Here's the cool thing. It's not just your brand new sales, it's your resales as well. The combination of the two. So you probably have built enough that a lot of those people are coming back and paying again because we have residual income coming from this company. So it's really pretty awesome. That's all right. Okay, so any questions you have, I'm looking to see if I missed any. Make sure and type your questions into the chat because that's what I'm all about, especially making sure you really understand where things are and how to get started. Because let me tell you, that's really important that you get actually up there. And Krista, congratulations. She started showing up in the recognitions that Mark does on Friday mornings. And I love those. I go, you know, and I go to all the webinars unless I have absolutely something I can't help that gets in the way. But most of the time, I go to all the webinars, and I think it's a good thing. You know, it's also about community, about building that feeling of belonging. Some people really need that, and that can also be a very, very strong uh, attraction factor that people actually can get involved with. Where you stand, I don't know, Gary, but go ahead and click that button that I showed you and you can find yourself. You just have to go back as far as wherever you are, okay? If you have gotten even one sale, which is copper, or is it, no, bronze. If you've gotten one sale, just one, you will show up in that list, that big one. Okay. So it's pretty fun. It doesn't matter if you're 700 or if you are 35, it doesn't actually matter. Yes, Bob, I agree. I really believe in community. I really believe it's important. One of the things I really noticed with some of the big companies that were really kicking it was that they had good situations uh, where they would do these webinars or various different things where they would get people excited about coming, and because they got people excited about coming, longevity happens. Okay, talk about moving my info here. Gary, please explain that a little bit. I don't know what you're asking. Okay. Yep, everybody starts at the same place. And 4 years ago, I was in that first position on that first medal, which I think is, what is it, bronze? The very first one was bronze. Before you can go any further, you have to get that. Okay. Okay, I get you. I get you. All right. Let me grab the link for you. You want to start right here, Gary, with this link. All right. And somebody invited you, and this is the first step. All right. You need to get signed up. And then from there, you go there. And no, it wasn't about Dropbox, I don't think. Yes, I agree with you, is being consistent and really understanding. And that's why I really make sure that you understand our back office, because that's the first step. If you don't know where things are, you can't help anyone else. If you don't know where things are, you're not going to have confidence to share it with anyone. And you need to do that, because that's how you get sales, is you share it with other people. Now, please don't spam. Understand the difference between sharing it and spamming it. What I'm talking about when I say spam is when you just throw links around and you don't talk to anybody. What you do want to do instead of that is have a conversation with them. Daryl, just keep on trying to work with your people and also talk to them. If they have not bought, if you've got a lot of pre-enrollees, that means that they haven't been convinced yet to buy. And so that's probably where you're at, is you've got pre-enrollees, but you don't have people that have decided to buy. Have you had personal conversations with them? That's very important. Yeah, I agree with you, Bob. Sometimes it takes more than one try to understand. Watch the videos more than once. Read more than once. Don't expect to understand it all at once, and that's okay. Yep, I actually agree with you completely on this, Bruce, and I used to be a spammer. I admit it. I'm sorry. I probably spammed a lot of people, but I also am a recovering spammer, okay? So I don't do it anymore. And that's very important. Any questions you have, make sure I am going to answer them. That means you need to put them in the chat box so that I can. Okay. Any other questions you guys have? Bounce rate means they don't stay on the email very long. They don't stay there to read it. They click it and then they move away real fast. That's what a bounce rate is. Thank you, Krista. So we can all admit that almost everybody probably started out as a spammer, okay? And it's okay. I'm a recovering spammer, and that's okay to call yourself one. All right? So, any other questions I can answer? Let me know. I'm watching for questions. Don't see any at the moment. Who's having fun with our program as we have it right now? Who's got all set up and got their stuff going? Okay. Sandra, the co-op program is simply that your link is going to be going out along with a bunch of other people. So it's going to rotate, okay? And that's what the co-op is. So you're going to pay for I think it's 40 and 80. I don't remember exactly, but you're going to be alternating with all the other people that are in that group, and they'll have a certain cutoff, so they'll only have a certain amount of people in each co-op. And then when they finish that co-op and they give you the promised amount of leads, then they'll start a new one. That's a good idea, Karina. I often send messages without a link. I make them ask for it. When they have to ask for it, that gives you another step, and that's a good thing. I'm glad you love our program. It is a good program. All right. Okay, there's two ways to use our program. Automatic sync is not the only way, it is just one way. I have found I like doing manual uploads better, and I think that I'm going to go ahead and share how to do that. Okay, so first off, I'm going to actually go, I think it's in here. This is my own backup, okay? And I did that on purpose so that I would show you that I'm in the process actually of working on one. And let's see where it was. I don't remember where it was. Okay, so I think it was in the document folder, and I was double checking. That's not where I want to be. Okay, here's where I was. Okay, I was in the PDs to check, and that is in my documents. Yes, pretty sure all business. No, it's in the all music folder. Okay. No. Here we go. It's in here. And I think it's under the Z's. Oh well, let's not worry about that. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to come back here to this, and I'm going to look at something that I see if I've got something I want to upload that I haven't yet. Okay, so I've got that. I think there was something in here I didn't have completed. So I usually look to see how I'm looking in here. If I've got something that's not finished, like for instance, the journal folder, let's make sure that's complete. That looks good. Okay, that one's empty. Downloads. Looks like there might be some things in there. Story, pieces. Okay, these three things here are not in this right here. So this is actually my upload. This is actually the actual Got Backup cloud on this side, and this is my hard drive on this side. So I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to copy these over. If they're already here, I'm going to leave it alone. Looks like they are. But what I am doing is I'm doing a check here to make sure everything is what I want it to be. Like for instance, there's probably that's where I was. Remember. Yeah. Okay. So I need these folders over here. I've got the first one, but I don't have all of them. So I don't have this part right here in here, and I need to move those, but I'm not going to move them actually. I'm going to copy them. So what that does is it starts a upload. See how it's putting that up there? If there's actually something there, it looks like it might be empty. Yep, it's going to put those in there. There is stuff. So it's going to take a while. This is going to not be real super fast. But let me come back to the room. Ah, that's a good question. Good. All right, let's answer that question. How can we see emails of people who have opened emails and who don't? Now I'm going to have to show that to you from my own account, but I'm not going to be able to go actually to the emails, because if I do that, I will be exposing people's personal information. But if you'll see that I'm actually in a different back office. Don't let that throw you off, okay? Because where my lead capture system is it's going to look exactly like yours when we get there. Now I want you to notice something. If I go to my old broadcast, not send, but broadcast, then you're going to see that I'm going to have some opens. And that's how you find it. You go to your broadcast, and then you come down here, and this list right here is the people that have opened. Now it's not going to let you go all the way down and click these, but because these are blue, you can actually click them. Now, like I said, I'm not going to actually click these because I will be exposing personal information from people, but this is how you find out who is opening. It's going to show only opens, not opens. But out of the 818, 22 opened on this one. I hope that makes sense to you. Oh, did I not open it? I had it open. Oh, well, that's weird. Oh, I didn't have it up. Okay, let me do that again. All right, let's come back here. And like I said, I'm in my own personal lead capture system right here. And when I open this, I will see people that have. I'll see their actual emails. But I can't click this because YouTube would actually take this video down. So you can do that though inside of your system. When you've sent emails out, you're going to see, now maybe the opens won't be big at first. Be patient and be consistent. Very important. Okay. You should be able to see it now, as I just got through showing it again. New questions that you might want to ask, please let me know. In the meantime, make sure if you're brand new, to go here. All right. So we answered that question. I'm looking for more questions. Any other questions you need me to answer for you? The lead capture system is worth the time to spend on and understand it and to use it. I spent some time making some videos about it, which hopefully will be put up pretty soon. And those will be helpful to you, I'm sure. Any new questions that you need answered? Looks like we're in good shape. Is anybody else having any problems or questions that they need answered? Let me know, please. Getting close to time, but I am here until you are satisfied you understand the program. Go and use the program. The more you use it, the easier it's going to be, the more comfortable you're going to be. That's really the name of the game. This is not a difficult program. It's really simple. Okay, Sandra, if you're talking about um, the co-op again, yes, it will be about Got Backup specifically, okay? What a fantastic business. All information is real, help is everywhere, and the market is gigantic. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that comment. And yes, I like real programs, and I always get involved with something that I believe is useful in some way. I don't get into something just because I want money. Yeah, I really think you could do that, Sharon, but what you would probably want to do is ask support, okay? Very likely they have where you can opt in, where you can actually log in. You need to give them that information so that they know your account. And then once they know your account, that's where they can pay you. Yes, you can use Wise. Obviously, why should you have a separate program just for this if you already have Wise? You can certainly do that. Yes, please do that. Bob is always reminding us we need to click the big thumbs up. You know what that does? That makes it so that more people will see our webinars, and even people that are not part of our company right now, and maybe even join you. Who knows? Okay, Deborah. Yes, when I do my broadcasts, and I do them daily, one of the major things I do all the time, and you all can do this immediately, is I invite people to our webinars. We've already got 3 for sure. And if you have anybody that's in France or speaks French or Italian or speaks Italian, you have 2 more possibilities because we've got people now that are actually doing webinars in other countries. So, because of that, you have the ability actually to share not only the live webinar, and I showed you where the link is, but you can share the replay. Like, for instance, this webinar I'm doing right now, the email that you just got brings you here, right? Well, it's going to bring you here tomorrow too, okay? For at least part of the day. And then there is an Italian webinar, but I don't think that it's going to cookie, the whole group isn't going to be cooking to that French webinar because not everybody is going to speak French or Italian or whatever it is. I think it's Italian. But on Wednesday, Joel and Mike do the cutoff, right? So the next email that will go out for Wednesday is going to cookie to that Wednesday webinar. And so then the replay on Thursday is going to cookie to that replay. Do you get what I'm saying here? You could do an email all week long about our webinars. You don't have to sell people. Our company's already doing that. What I'm recommending for you to do is to invite them out here to these webinars. This is a very powerful way, actually, to get people excited about being part of this company. Don't try to talk to them about money. Talk to them about community and talk to them about the use of the product because that's the most important thing. Are you kidding me? Everybody wants this product. I don't think anybody has to be convinced of the commercial demand. Uh, we have every bit as much good stuff going on as Dropbox with 3 times as much space, and you get paid for it. I don't think anybody has to be too terribly convinced. Um, so that's what I suggest, Sunny, is look at this a little bit closer. Why you have 2 accounts? Okay. Lender says I have 2 accounts with identical offerings. How do I get that fixed? I would talk actually to support. Make sure you know which email and username each one of them have, and then get it moved to just one account. And you're going to have to do that through support. Okay? It's very important to do that through support. Oh, we got some rain outside. I didn't realize it was raining. All of a sudden, I'm hearing water coming down against our house. Yes, our pre-enrollees are getting invited to these webinars. So go ahead and do it anyway, because the more of that you do, the more you're going to show them that you care. And guess what? This is not something that is very pushy. And you're showing them that you care about them when you're inviting them to the webinars. Okay? Yes, we are $9.97 monthly. That's true. Yes, I agree with you. We buy a cover to protect our cell phone, and we never buy protection of our valued documents, our pictures. Now, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a story, if this will help you out. I've had 3 hard drives fail. Sonny, I already answered that question. I'm not going to answer it twice. I've already had 3 hard drives fail, and if I didn't have my stuff up in the cloud, like I showed you, I would be losing my stuff because if it was only on a hard drive, externals, that would be really, really scary, wouldn't it? So, I mean, hard drives can fail. Obviously, phones can fail. It's really important. Help Sunny out, Bob. You're a good person for explaining the commercial appeal. I believe it has thousands worth. I mean, if you're looking at any of the other programs out there, Dropbox is a pretty good comparison. They don't give you any kind of compensation whatsoever. They don't give you as much space. So, yes, we've got a lot more going for us than a lot of the other programs. If you're having that much trouble understanding this, then you need to look at it because it's very, very strong. Yes, Russ, very strong. Totally strong. All right. Any new questions? I want to make sure I get everybody taken care of, feeling comfortable and good here. Ah, I like that one. Here's your answer, Sunny. Who doesn't need this? And like the other gentleman said, people are buying covers for their phone, but they're not buying an actual backup. They're thinking that their iPhone iCloud is enough, but guess what? It gets filled up real quick. And then they try to get you to buy a package and they charge a lot more than we're charging for that. Or Google. I'm getting ads all the time from Google lately, trying to get us to upgrade and pay more, but it costs a lot more to do those, and you don't. Here's another thing: you have complete privacy with all of your content. Nobody messes with your pictures. Nobody sells your pictures. Nobody uses it for advertising or anything like that. Our stuff is completely private. Nobody knows how to get in there but you. All right? And I agree with you, Bob. This is really good. It can cost thousands for a professional to recover your stuff if something happens. And then Karina said you can't do the photos and backup over 50 gigabytes. And that's not very much space these days. If you really think about it, it's not very much space. All right. So we've got a lot of space. Try to use up 6T of space by yourself. I challenge you because I am a big user. I'm a really, really big user. I've got a great big music collection. I've got a great big video collection, and I'm still only using about half that space. So think about that. We've got some wonderful stuff here, and it's really one of the best deals out there. I don't know of anybody that's doing so good as we are. And it's available absolutely everywhere. As long as somebody can get their hands on a phone and internet, they can have this business and share it with other people. So, I mean, you don't even have to have a computer if you don't. There's people that are actually really poor and they just have a cell phone. That's fine. You can actually operate from a cell phone and an internet connection, and you can be in this business. That's as simple as it gets. Okay, any new questions that I need to answer? And we're up to, I think we're 118 countries now, and they're basing that actually on the ones that have actually decided to join and where they are, okay? We don't have to wait until the country says it's okay because we're internet based, okay? We don't have a physical product. We don't have to go through customs. We don't have to go through all of their, you know, stuff to prove that we've got a good company. They have to have a phone and an internet system of some sort, and they can do this. And oh, that's good to know. Karina said the very first day, week, she only had a cell phone, and yet you could be in business, and that is the truth. It's pretty awesome that that is possible. Can you see how many people this opens up to? When you start looking at some of the countries that are very, very poor in Africa, in China, in India, some of those places where people hardly have any income at all, and yet they can actually earn some really good money. Congratulations, Krista. This is really awesome. She earned $500 in her first month just from her cell phone. And then she bought a laptop with her commissions. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome. And yes, that's what it's really all about. You don't go into debt. You get to actually earn money enough that you can buy what you want. Like I got my own TV out of my got backup earnings. Yes, exactly. You can do it offline with the business cards. There is one fellow that he is doing all sorts he's doing conventions. Have you ever done convention business? Because that is another option. You can do that. So it's really awesome. You can actually do this just about any way you want. You don't have to do it on the internet. I just think it's more convenient, but that's not the only way. Of course, you've got a business card. In fact, let's see, where's mine? Oh, let me grab mine. I've got mine. See, you can do that. So that's what I have for you tonight. Unless you've got any new questions, let me know real quick. Otherwise, I think we're done. Very cool, very cool. I like all of the stories. And you're welcome, Bob. I appreciate you too for coming. I really appreciate. I've got some fans, I think. You guys come every time, don't you? And it's fun. It's fun to have all of you guys come and enjoy. And of course, I want to make sure all the new people, I hope everybody that's new here feels comfortable, that they got their answers. Yeah. A laptop's good for some of the things we want to do, but you don't have to have one. That's what's really cool. Now, I like to work from home and I like to work, and I actually have a tower and a great big screen. But that's just me. Not everybody has to do that, and it's not required. But that's where we're at tonight. I hope you guys have a really awesome evening. Get your cards and get going. Whichever way you want to go, it's perfectly fine. It's really cool. And we'll talk to you again next week. Same time, same place. Yep, you can actually build an empire just using your cell phone. Absolutely. That is the closing statement I want to say. Yes, that's absolutely the truth. Thank you, Russ. And we'll talk to you again next week. Same time, same place. Bye.